All right, joining us now on Radio Row here at the 2017 ACC Football Kickoff is the head coach of the defending national champs. I'm sure he likes the way that sounds. Clemson Tigers, Dabo Swinney joining us. Coach, before we get started, first of all, congratulations on a brilliant season last year.
Appreciate it.
I mean, the offseason must have been like crazy for you, and now you're 2 weeks away from having to start the whole thing all over again.
Yeah,
what's
I
it
can't
like?
wait. It's great. It was a great offseason, and we just got back to work back in February, and there was a lot that that came with winning the championship and all that, and we embraced all that stuff. But shoot, we're ready to start over and embrace this new journey and see what we can do.
Clemson's a great college town, but it is a small town. What was it like to bring home a national championship? What was the feeling like? When you bring it home to these other cities, they're so big.
Yeah.
Here in Clemson, it was probably that small town experience.
Yeah, it was really surreal. I mean, it's 35 years since our fans had a taste of being the national champion, and something that I'm not sure a lot of people thought would ever happen again. And to be a part of that experience was special, and to be able to share in so much joy with so many people. 70,000 people show up for a parade in our stadium. It was an unbelievable time, and I'm just really thankful that I've got that memory and I've got that moment, and that belief that we can do it at Clemson. I think that bodes well for us as we continue to move our program forward.
Coach, we're talking with Dabo Swinney, head coach of the defending national champion Clemson Tigers. I watch you coach. This is now year 9 on the sidelines. When you got the job, you look at these old school guys back when I came through, the Bobby Bowdens, the Joe Paternos. They had this certain way of doing it. Now it takes a little bit different of a way to do it. You've got a unique personality where you've got the old school football in you, but you know how to relate to these millennial kids. I have a 24-year-old son, and I always say these millennials drive me crazy. What is it about you that appeals to these kids? Is that just, how do you do it?
Well, I don't know how to do anything other than be who I am, be myself. I just try to just be transparent and just be myself and try to have a relationship with my players and have fun with them. I'm very competitive. The guys will tell you that. You're talking about a baby of 3 boys and a walk-on and a guy who earned a scholarship and have worked my way up through the ranks. I've always coached my players tough, but I've always loved them tough too. And I think the old saying that rules without relationship leads to rebellion. And we've got great relationships. And the guys know I care about them. And I think when they know you care about them, they'll let you coach them. And so it's a lot of fun. I don't try to take myself too seriously. I enjoy what I do. I'm so fortunate to be able to wake up every day and I get to coach football for a living, something that I wish I could still play, but I get to be a part of sports, and that's what I've enjoyed my whole life. That's been my passion, and I get a chance to do my passion every single day, and I get to be around great young people. I've been around 18 to 22-year-olds my whole life, and it never gets old.
You mentioned being a walk-on and earning a scholarship. Do you ever find yourself, and I'm not saying, maybe take an extra look at, but do you ever find yourself maybe paying a little bit more attention to some guys that aren't necessarily full-blown with scholarships, or maybe when you're out there recruiting,
Absolutely.
that you might look at somebody that somebody else isn't looking at because you went through that experience?
Absolutely, man. I want guys that are hungry. I want guys that want it, guys that love to work, guys that love football. If I can find me a Christian Wilkins that's a 5-star recruit, a freak athlete, great character, great integrity, great work ethic, wonderful. But I'll take a Grady Jarrett in a heartbeat that's a 2-star recruit that's got more heart than anybody and going to beat that, player out that maybe has more talent but doesn't have near the commitment and dedication and pride and performance. He'll win that job every time. That's exactly what's happened at the Falcons. 5th-round recruit, 5th-round draft pick, sacking Tom Brady. Probably would have been the MVP of the, those guys, that's how you win. And you get to Deshaun Watson, same thing. 5-star recruit, 5-star person, 5-star commitment. You get a superstar. But you give me a Ben Boulware. Give me that Ben Boulware. I'll take a Ben Boulware in a heartbeat, and you're gonna win a lot of games. So I'm always looking. Hunter, you're talking about the 5-star quarterback in the national championship through the game-winning pass to the walk-on wideout, and that is the epitome of our program. best player plays, not the guy that's supposed to be the best player. It's the best player, and the guys earned it. And that's what's been pretty cool about a guy like Hunter Renfrow. He's got 17 catches and 4 touchdowns against Alabama, and he's just an average guy coming out.
You mentioned Deshaun Watson, Wayne Gallman, Mike Williams. Everyone's talking about what you lost.
Yeah.
I keep telling people, Dabo's got the program where he doesn't rebuild anymore. He just reloads. Yeah. I mean, you keep signing all these great kids. What do you say to the people that are saying you lost so much, you can't do this again?
Keep saying it. I love that because, as a coach, you want an edge and you want hunger. And everybody focuses on what we've lost. This time of year, that's all everybody's talked about all spring and this summer is who we lost. Deshaun's gone, Mike Williams gone, Leggett's gone, Gallman's gone, Ben Boulware's gone, Carlos Watkins is gone. And they talk about that. And I love to focus on what we have. And we got guys on our team that are over there going, well, all right, ain't nobody going to talk about me. Well, listen, I was recruited too. And, I was pretty good. And it's their time to step up. And I love that because there's a sense of urgency, whether it was a guy that was a role player for us last year. Now it's his time to be the starter. A Justin Falcinelli, a fourth-year junior that's ready to step in. And Jay Guillermo's gone. Nobody's talking about Falcinelli. It's a Deion Kane. All everybody's talking about is Mike Williams, and now it's Deion's time. I think that brings this hunger and an edge that you love. And I think that's what makes college football great because new people emerge. We'll be talking about guys on my team here in a few weeks and in a few games that nobody's even mentioned today. And I think that's always fun. Last year, nobody was talking about Cleveland Ferrell. And now everybody I talk to, they ask me about Cleveland Ferrell. And last year, he was just a name on the roster.
You go back a year and a half ago, you lose to Alabama, and then obviously this past season you guys get the national championship. You beat Alabama, a little bit of a redemption game for you. What did you take from that loss the first time that maybe you put into a little bit into that season last year, and then obviously into the win where you saw them the second time?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing, going into that first game against them, we really expected to win, and we really thought we were good enough. Coming out of that game, we didn't win the game, but we knew we were good enough. And I think there was a confidence that came away from that game, and that, you know what, it's how are we going to make that up? It's a little bit extra. It's a little bit more commitment, a little bit more accountability, and everybody just kind of buying into that and understand that we've got everything we need. Let's take care of Clemson. We made some mistakes in that first game that really had nothing to do with Alabama. And so our focus all year was on, let's just don't lose to Clemson. If we'll just do the little things in a great way, then we're going to be a really tough out. And so that was our focus all year long, because it's one thing to think you're good enough. It's another thing when you know you are. That box was checked. We didn't win that game, but we checked the box in everybody's mind. And then, okay, all right, and then we went back to work, and there was just a little different confidence, and I think a little different focus. So it was just you got to fail to really truly grow, and it was a great opportunity for us, and then it culminated in a rematch this year, and we got that little extra. We had that will to win and that ultimate belief that we were good enough.
Coach, one more before we let you go. We do high school play-by-play in Gaston County. One kid we got to watch a couple of years ago, Tanner Muse.
Yeah.
And he's about to step up and possibly claim the free safety. Just talk about Tanner and what do you expect from him this year?
Well, he had a pick 6 last year. He blocked a punt in the national championship game. A lot of people don't talk about that. It was a huge play. He's one of the fastest guys on our team, a kid that's just he's just starting to just bloom. He's one of those guys nobody knows about. But by the end of this year, everybody's going to know about Tanner Muse. He's just blossoming right before our eyes. He's going to be a redshirt sophomore, and had a great spring, and I think is poised to go have a great season for us.